And sharing my screen. Hey guys, good morning. How's everyone? Can you guys see my screen? Let me know when you can see it. Just loading up here.
You see it.
All right, guys, we got 4 days until month end, September 1st at 6 p.m. So you guys are in for a treat. You got the top of the top ladies in the hierarchy. I'm so excited to be training with Sheila and Shay. Shay was the one that really taught me how to get in the field and stay in the field. Sheila, you know, she's just so great. I mean, relatively so new and so great at just sharing with us her passion. And now she's starting to duplicate everything so with her team. So, you know, these are all different styles here. So I hope you guys take a lot of notes, because as long as you implement everything that we go over today, a lot can happen in the last 4 days. And I got this saying from Shay, anyone that's in, you know, working directly with me, you guys always know, I always stole, I stole your saying, Shay. There's a lot of time for those who work. There's a lot of times for those who work. That came from Shay, not me, right? Don't shoot the messenger. So let's talk about a little bit mindset really quick about staying in the field. So you want to, this is a marathon, not a sprint, okay? But you got to do little sprints here and there so that you can last the whole marathon, right? So when people come in here, right, they start as a trainee, and it's really difficult for them to see themselves long-term, especially in a field of work that they weren't intending to be in. So unfortunately, you don't just recruit them by an IBA, you got to recruit them over time. What do I mean? Mentally, right? And they got to know exactly what the trajectory looks like long-term. They can't just see themselves as a trainee forever, right? But part of that is, you know, the process, the structure that you put them through and how coachable you are. So there are 3 phases that you and your trainee or your recruit, everyone's going to go through. One being a trainee, then being a soloist, then being a trainer. Now, the smallest, the shortest time that you should be anything is a trainee. I've trained people that have finished their training in 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 14 days. The average is, you know, a whole month, right? Not every day for a whole month, but on average about 3-4 weeks. They're done with training, right? They get their bonus. Now what else? They got to learn how to be solo, right? Then they become a trainer once they prove that they can be consistent while they're solo. And guess what? The goodies, the cookies go all to the trainers. That being a trainer is where all the big money is made. I just want to say that again. Being a trainer is where the money is made. As a trainee, you learn to work as your trainer instructs you to, right? Because you come in, everybody here comes in with their old mentality, their old habits, right? And you sitting in, just like your new recruit sitting in, one Saturday morning training, it's not going to change their habit. It's just not. Habits have to be changed over time. And the trainee will learn from the trainer as the trainer instructs them to, and the trainee listens. I should have put that. As when you become a soloist, you work as you instruct yourself to. That's very important. Soloists work as they instruct themselves to. So just like Shaq said yesterday in Friday morning training, the great thing about Primerica is you're your own boss, right? You make your own schedule. The worst thing about Primerica is you're your own boss and you make your own schedule. So as soon as you don't commit to anything during the day, you didn't really instruct yourself to do anything, right? And a commitment is not a thought. I was just telling a teammate this morning, it's not a thought. Hey, what happened to your commitment? Oh, that's what I thought I could do. No. What does a commitment mean? Doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling that you said it in has left you. A commitment is doing what you say you're going to do long after the feeling you said it in has left you. When you said it, you knew you were going to do it. When you said it, you were going to do it. In your mind, you already did it. But then all of a sudden, these excuses come out, right? You got to instruct yourself throughout your day to keep up with that commitment. You got to instruct yourself how to run that schedule. And nothing can come in and distract you from that commitment, as big or as small as it is. When you become a trainer, your responsibility is to model now an example for the soloist and the trainee. People don't do what you say, they do what you do, right? And the people that see you doing things and they still don't do it, well, those are probably not the people you want to spend your most time with. 80% of my time go with the 20%ers. Just like Bruce instructed us to do, Bruce is a mentor of mentors. He's a trainer of trainers. Bruce told us, be careful who you spend your invest your time with. You can't let everybody rent your space in your mind for free. Okay, especially the people who are at 0 by 0 and complaining with no solutions, right? Trainers model an example for the soloist and the trainee, but you have to do the work before you earn the responsibility. Mind you this, in order to be a district leader, you got to earn the right to be able to lead somebody else, because the name leader is it's just a big thing. I mean, it's not a small thing. You are now somebody that somebody looks up to in the hierarchy, you know? Work without being told to, and then earn the right to be free. When I told Shaq, because this is before I didn't drive, any of you guys who don't drive, or any of you guys who don't drive your own car, I should say, right? Because I got banned from using my mom's car after like 3 weeks of going to Saturday morning training. She was like, why are you going to that meeting? They don't even pay you. This is when she didn't understand, right? Because I didn't have money like that coming in consistently because I wasn't consistent. That's okay. That was my fault. But what did I do? I tried to, find the easy way out, just like most people do. And I told Shaq, I was like, hey, I don't know if I should really come to Virginia because it's like 2 hours one way of traveling. You know what? Shaq don't care. And it's not that he don't care about what I'm going through. He just don't care about the excuses because he believes that I'm going to be great, right? See, when your coach calls you out on your BS, it's because they believe you're going to be great. And it's disrespectful to them if you don't even do the work that they believe that you can do. It's like saying, God gave me this potential and let me just throw it in the trash, God. You're disrespecting the person that you believe in, that you look up to, and they gave you that opportunity to do so, right? You don't want to waste those opportunities. Work without being told to do so in those 24 hours you're given to, then earn the right to be free. Once you get in the field as a trainee, you want to learn how to stay in the field by those referrals. And referrals can be anything where a client says, hey, talk to this person, they need investments or insurance, or it could be you going into a new trainee's market. That's a form of a referral, right? Emergency beneficiary contacts, staying in the field with your personal war market, right? Like Shay was talking about. But always remember, it's not just appointment setting, it's consistent appointment setting, which leads to consistent appointment going. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Consistent appointment setting equals consistent appointment going. Consistent appointment going equals consistent appointment closing. So if you don't close anything, you have no right to even be upset. You have no right to even be frustrated. No right at all. You have no right to even say anything because you didn't do the appointment setting, right? So if you don't do the work, how can you be upset? But if you do the work and maybe let's say 1 week, 5 of your appointments fall out just because it's one of those weeks like Joey had, right? Just one. Joey, you only had 1 week out of your career where all of your appointments fell out 1 week, right? All 1 week. Just 1 week out of the whole year she's been here, right? You're going to have that 1 week. How are you going to react? Set more appointments, then go on more appointments, then close more appointments. So I'm excited to bring it to Shay really quick and let Shay have it because, listen, I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. You guys who don't feel like you may be frustrated where you are because maybe you have been working, okay? But if you're trying to answer your own questions, you can only go so far because you can't be a prophet in your own land, they say, right? I couldn't be a prophet in my own land. I had to take myself out of my Section 8 mentality, my government housing mentality, right? A mentality where my mom depended on the government before she depended on me or was able to depend on me. I had to get her out that mindset too, but it started with me. The generational curse, the change had to start with me. And I had to make that 2-hour trip to Shay, 1.5-hour trip to Shay. No car. I brought gifts to Shay with literally minimal money in my bank account and that was an investment in my time with Shay. So take a lot of notes, guys, because this is the queen that taught me everything I needed to know about appointment setting and consistently staying there. Shay, you got it.
All right, Jen, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Man, every time you speak, right, I learn so much from you. It's crazy because, we learn from our children and people think you can't learn from your kids. I learn from my daughter and my son every single day. So Jen, I appreciate you because I'm learning so much from you right now. And I asked you again to put me back on your thread, right? Because you get me going and silently, right, behind closed doors, you're coaching me. So I'm learning a lot from you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for your team. I just wanted to say that. But let me piggyback really fast off of what you said. You said consistent appointment setting equals consistent appointment going equals consistent appointment closing. How big is that? Because we wonder why nothing is happening, right? I knew when I wasn't closing consistently, it was because I wasn't setting appointments consistently. That's just what it is, right? I was making all the excuses, but that's it right there. Consistent appointment setting equals consistent appointment going equals consistent appointment closing. That's awesome. Then you said soloists work as they instruct themselves to. That's amazing, right? Because a lot of the times we come into this business with an employee mindset. However, when you become a soloist, you start to tell yourself what to do because you realize if I don't work, if I don't go on appointments consistently, right, and set them consistently, I'm not going to be closing consistently. So it goes hand in hand, right? So I'm going to talk about the character reference, the three-way text messaging character reference. I cannot remember who I heard this from, but I heard it on an audio on SoundCloud, and I was like, oh my goodness, right? We run this play. We run it to the ground. We use everything else, but this is our go-to. Okay, there's no right or wrong way. You use all the tools you have to stay in the field. That's what we're speaking about today. We're talking about staying in the field. Okay, so three-way text character reference message. Calling the reference and forming them allows you to warm it up and talk less once you jump on the actual training appointment and ultimately get results. Let me tell you what I mean by that, right? So for myself, I realized when I was going through the presentation, I wasn't asking all of the questions that Jen Lee was asking. And the reason why is because in the beginning, I was forming a lot, which you should do, right? And I was so busy attempting to get the app. Now you do those things. However, I wanted more time to ask the questions versus more time talking and making my appointment longer. So on the character reference, if I'm calling someone for Pastor Willie, let's say I'm calling someone in his church and I'm asking about him, getting get a reference, right? They're speaking about him. And as I'm asking about him, I'm asking them questions as well. I'm forming them, right? How long have you known Pastor Willie? Oh, that's awesome. Do you work there as well? Boom. Do you have children? Oh, they know my kids. They went to school with their kids go to school with my kids. Oh, awesome. How old are your kids? You see, I'm forming. I'm getting a lot of information about them on that phone call because when we get to that appointment, hey, what's going on? How are you? How was your weekend? You see the difference? It's warm because I've spoken to you on the phone. We've had a conversation. You my homegirl now. You my homeboy. We done spoke. We friends. We're good. So you already know me through the conversation. You're familiar with me, should I say, right? So when I get on an appointment, it allows me to jump into the training appointment and jump into what I need to do and then ask those questions, all of the questions that Jen asked on her appointment that I need to ask as well, right? The purpose of the three-way text is to extract as many names and numbers as possible. This will lead to referrals, excitement, clients, value, and new teammates, partnership closing. Okay, so this was my experience, and I may have done it wrong, right? When I sat down, when we did it face to face, we would only get so many calls in, right? Nobody answering, right? I don't have time, or whatever it is the reference would say when we will make a call, when we would do the triangle. No right or wrong way. I'm just telling you my experience, okay? So what I found with the character reference, we're not making the calls yet, but we're going to send out all these messages. Boom, boom, boom. We don't even give them a chance to ask a question yet. They're only responding to if I can give them a call. You see what I'm saying? So now I done sent out 25, 50, 60, 70 text messages, and half of them are responding. So I have 35 people to call back out of those, let's say 70 text messages, right? So that was the greatest thing for me. I'm like, I'm able to reach more people through the character reference versus making the call, right? And my trainee getting discouraged because they're not answering, oh, they're not interested, or whatever it is that people say to make the trainee feel discouraged. I didn't like that, right? And I felt bad for my trainee. And I find myself attempting to pump them up and motivate them just a little bit. I was tired of that, right? So with this, I'm able to get out more. And then you got to understand, you're controlling the point of contact. I'm controlling it. And they're going to give me the questions now. They may call the trainee and I'll address that. but I'm controlling it. When I call them, they're hearing my voice, right? They're asking me the questions. I control the point of contact. It speeds up the process of setting as many appointments as possible on that work session. They've seen Samir's orientation webinar. That is gold. It breaks down everything. They shouldn't have any questions after that, right? That is probably one of the best that I've heard Samir break down what we do to get started, right? It's gold. So when you set that work session, it's game time. We're going to work. We're sending out these references, okay? The credibility of the trainee. I found if the trainee has credibility, you're setting up appointments for the next couple of weeks. That's real. For Sharzanja, for Tiara, all of the people that are on our team that have credibility, we're setting appointments up for 2 weeks and maybe even 3. We're throwing appointments out there because the credibility, the messages are coming in. Yes, absolutely. What do you want me to say? What time will they call? They can call me at this time. Boom, boom, they're coming through. When a teammate has credibility, man, this play is gold. I'm telling you, it is absolutely gold. Now, we had a lot of people say, you know, we sent out messages, but no one is responding. You guys know people see these text messages, right? Everybody walks around with their phone in their hand. For one reason or another, everyone, whether it be social media, whether it be work, whether it be business, whether it be my kids may call me, my spouse may text me, whatever it is, everyone sees a text message. Just because they did not respond, I'm telling you, does not mean they did not see. They seen the daggone text message. They just didn't respond, right? So if you don't receive a text back within 24 hours, have your trainee pick up the phone and reach out to them. And this is what they say, right? Let me role play with someone. Who I got on here? Jen Lee, role play with me really fast. Okay, so I'm just gonna call you from just a regular text though. Like you didn't respond to the text message, right? So I'm calling you. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jen, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey Shay, what's going on? I'm just with the kids right now. What's up?
Okay, really fast. I won't hold you. Did you get my text message yesterday that I sent to you?
Yeah, I was just I was cause tied up. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I understand. No worries. Listen, can you do me a favor?
Yeah. What's up?
Okay, awesome. I'm really excited about this opportunity. Would you mind taking a call from my trainer? I listed you as a character reference.
I'm sorry, Shay. I promise I'll do it. As soon as I feed the baby, I will get back to her as soon as possible. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's great. Well, what's a good time for her to call you? Or you can call her back just in case she misses your call. What's a good time for her to give you a call?
I should be done in an hour. So, you know, if I call her, I mean, she can call me in an hour. I can call her, but yeah, at least an hour.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you helping me out. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Got you. Don't worry. I'm sorry again.
That's okay. All right. Bye-bye. Just like that. I listed you as a character reference. Don't attempt to give them information. This is what I'm telling my trainee. Hey, Jen, call whoever, right? And ask them that they get a text message and let them know I'm going to give them a call, or if they can give me a call back, whichever. If they ask you any questions, just let them know that you're in training and your trainer will be able to answer any questions that they have. That's it, just like that. Now, once we've called, the reference may reach back out to Jen. This is where we run the FETHOR, right? The same thing. You guys know what FETHOR is. Jen Lee's gonna go over FETHOR, right? This is where we run a FETHOR. Be sure to role play with your trainee, right? Because now we're still controlling the point of contact, you all, right? What I have found is that most trainees are talking too much. They're so excited, they're talking too much, and they're getting TKO'd by family, friends, spouse, coworkers, supposedly homies, right? They're getting TKO'd. So I wanted to control that. I wanted to kind of coddle my trainee just a little bit. I'm having the conversations with them, but I still need them to understand, I don't want you saying too much. I will answer all the questions. We're going to use your credibility and my ability to get this training appointment. That is it, right? All right, so here goes the script right here. All right, Jenny, gonna role play with me again?
I think Sheila moved my my text box real quick last night. Sheila.
You gotta switch it up really fast. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Hi, is Jen there?
This is her.
Hi, Jen. My name is Shannon Graham, and I'm calling in regards to Jimalee. Do you know Jimalee?
Yes, I do. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you. So Jimalee just started working with my company and has listed you as a character reference. Do you have a couple of minutes to talk?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay, awesome. How long have you known Jimalee?
I've known her now for about maybe 4 or 5 years, pretty long.
Okay, good. And how do you know each other?
We used to work together. She's a great person. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, good, good. Can you tell me a little bit about Jimmy, her character, her demeanor, and her work ethic?
Oh man, she is so positive. I mean, I'm sure you knew it when you met her. I don't know if you've actually met her, but she's just so focused in everything she talks about. I mean, you give her a subject, a task to do, you'll see how focused she is. Her mindset is right there as soon as she puts her mind to it. And she's, some people when they do work, they're not as organized and they don't pick up as quick. She picks up very quick and she's very organized. So
Okay.
you won't be disappointed with her.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, next slide. We are in the financial services industry, and Jimmy may be handling large sums of money and taking personal information from our clients. Do you feel she has a high degree of integrity?
Absolutely.
Okay,
She
good.
never had an issue on the job.
Okay, awesome. So Jimmy is getting licensed through the state of Virginia, and she has to go through some training before she can get certified. Now, there are three types of training that Jimmy will undergo. The first is licensing through the state of Virginia. The second is the classroom training, which we can provide at our office. The third is the online field training. This last method is the most important because it allows Jimmy to see how we navigate through the presentation online. We like to say 20 hours in the classroom is like 1 hour in the field online. Now, would Jimmy have enough credibility with you and your spouse where you'd help her out with an online 45-minute field training appointment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. So what that entails, and we will make it easy by sending you the link Zoom. Okay, we will be sharing some information and concepts for about 35 to 45 minutes. All we ask for Jimily's best training that you and your spouse are available and you ask a lot of questions. Is that fair enough?
Yes, I'll make sure he's there.
Okay, awesome. So then we go in, you all, we get the time in the day. Listen, the reason why I appreciate this is because I'm finding out about my trainee. People will tell you, they will tell you about whoever your trainee is. I had a pastor really tell me about a young man. He said, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. He said, he will disappear on you. I don't think this will be a good fit for him, especially if he's going to be dealing with money. The pastor was straight up honest.
Wow.
He was like, red flag, ding, ding, ding. Because I don't need anybody coming in here writing no bad business, stealing social security numbers and bank accounts and all. No, 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 because that falls on me. So this is why I love it, because sometimes you all know, right? We recruit people, we prospect, we don't know them from Adam. And we recruit them, we put them in our business and we do these things. So if I do a character reference and I've prospected you, right, at my local Wegmans, and you're a general manager and I see you, training your employees and I prospect you and I don't know you, now I have to find out about you. And that's okay. But that's why I love the character reference as well, because it's allowing me to find out about the person. And I know it's a pattern when everyone says the same thing about you, right? Sharzandra, everyone said the same thing about her. She's a cheerleading coach, competition cheerleading, Jen. All of the parents that we've sat down with, she coaches their daughters. They all said the same thing about her. I trust her with my daughter. I trust her with my daughter's life. My daughter has her number. My daughter calls her for advice. I mean, they just absolutely love Z. And that makes me, I'm like, ooh, winner, ooh, leader, ooh, player, ooh, competitor, ooh, go-getter, right? And I'm taking notes. And I'm telling the trainee, man, you're going to be phenomenal at this. This is what the parents said about you, Z. You're a leader, right? You lead from the front. You're a go-getter. You inspire these girls. Do you know what you can do in Primerica if you take what you do with those girls in Primerica? So that's the other reason why I love this, because I'm learning about my trainee. I can feed it back to them and encourage them, inspire them to keep pushing through with Primerica, because you guys know the business will break you down, but it'll build you back up, right? It'll build you back up even stronger. Okay, so that's just one of the ways that we use to stay in the field. I'm gonna pass it back to Jen. Jen?
That's so good. All right, guys, when you do the character reference script, I just want to interview Joey really quick, because Joey, she started using it because now she's a new trainer and all that stuff, which is we're excited for. Joey, when you use the character reference script, I know you're working with Antonia. I mean, how smooth, and what do you see? What do you see that's positive, and what do you see that's like kind of like, wow, I didn't know I would find this out.
It's been very interesting, I think, for Antonia to hear how people really feel about her when I'm doing the callback. She's like, oh, wow, people say such great things about me. I didn't know they felt that way. So that's been interesting to learn. Something that I don't think I personally got to see, because when you were doing my calls, I wasn't there, like when I do some of her calls. So it's interesting to see how people feel about you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, perfect. Yeah, so a lot of, when I, Joey, you were at your job and we had to make it efficient for you. Thank you. I know you didn't know I was going to call on you, but I do that all the time. Shay, what I found, and I don't know if I told you this, but most of the time now I'll have the trainee sit there and hear me and watch me call the character reference.
That's good.
And it'll build their confidence up and add some more excitement to help them keep going. And they'll be like, oh, maybe this could work, right? Now, I don't think we get a lot of bad nuggets, because I've had, character references that said things about, hey, be careful with this person. That's when I'm doing it privately. But I think me and you and Sheila, we have good instincts on people. Like, maybe we should make this a private call,
That's right.
Yeah, like you gotta kind of use your discretion, guys. But if you got a good person, okay, hey, this person, they seem like a really good person. Let me let them hear this. And they're like, the same thing Antonia felt about her character references. It just builds so much confidence in the person that already doesn't believe in themselves as a new person. So when you do that, yeah. Now, as a trainer, if you're doing the character reference script, guess what it makes you do? It makes you follow the script. It makes you make sure you're doing your job right. Because when you're doing things on your own without anybody watching you, when you just start to flounder off. You just start to kind of, fool around and stuff. So it's a good healthy pressure for the trainer or future trainer to be able to have the trainee watch, just like you're, being an official trainer in the field, teaching them how to do the presentation, whatnot. So anyways, Feethor. Let's talk about Feethor. Feethor is the first script that I ever learned, because we never used to have the character reference three-way text. That's relatively new and such a great adjustment. So Feethor stands for favor, excited, training, help, referrals. This is a sign for you, me, Shay, Sheila to use with our personal hot, warm, and lukewarm market. Remember, people will help you for one of three reasons: need, greed, curiosity. Need, greed, curiosity. They either need you, or they think it's something in it for themselves, or they're just curious, they're nosy, right? I mean, how many times do you try to call somebody, they don't answer you, but they're on your IG story, Shay? They don't get back to you immediately, but you see them snooping on your IG story, right? Hey, social media is a crazy thing. Or how about this? They say they want it bad, but they don't even, they quit. They quit. They don't answer you. They no-show the orientation. I know you guys got people that no-showed you, right? But they're still on Telegram. And you see them signing in. You see them logging in, and they're watching people make money, but they don't want to reach back out to you. It's weird. It's so weird. So, but anyway, back to Feethor. People don't want to buy anything, but they will help you. Remember this. They don't want to buy anything, but they will help you. I was just talking to somebody the other day, because it's just natural for us when we get from being a trainee. For some odd reason, we forget that we haven't learned everything yet. And so we stop asking for help with our training, knowing we all still don't have our investment license, and we start trying to sell them life insurance. You start trying to push, hey, do you have life insurance? Hey, I can help you. I can do this. That's not wrong. But remember, people don't want to buy anything. They don't want to be sold anything. They want to own things, but on their own terms. So that's the great thing about Feethor, because it helps you get in front of the face, and they make their own decision with your trainer, right? Or with you if you're competent enough to close them and for them to be closed. But they will help you. They will meet you just to help you. I met with, I remember when we were doing Blitz, and this is very important. Listen, there's like 23 people on here. Do we all have life insurance licenses at least, right? Nobody on here doesn't have a license, right? So if you're here, especially if you have a license, the first license, there's no such thing as license and broke in the same sentence. Tanya Poe said that. If you have a license, there's no reason why you should have made, you should not be making money at any time. Maybe you're not used to closing every day yet, but the point of training is to learn how to close every day, right? So you would use it. But maybe you're used to just closing every week. But if maybe you had, not so much of a sufficient week, right? You got to look back at yourself, right? Or how many people are you asking for help versus how many people you're trying to sell, right? If they're like real close to you, like my best friend, okay, yeah, I can talk to my best friend and be like, yo, you need some life insurance? Listen to me, just sign right here, right? That's a little bit different. But if you're talking to somebody that is not your best friend, out of one or two people that are your best friends, you may want to stick with FeeThor. So you will use FeeThor your whole career. I still use it. So when we used to do Blitz, Shay and Sheila, I used to feel like I ran out of my warm market. So, but I really didn't. I just had people on my phone that I was too scared to call, or maybe they were not qualified. So what I did was I started working on my referral skills. And this is where it all started. Shaq would have us all in a room, Pastor Willie, and he wouldn't make sure, but it was pressure to stay in the room and book your appointments next to somebody like a Sheila or a Shay. And I would see Shay like QA set 1, QA set 3, QA set, like she would have like 15 QA set in like 30 minutes, and I was stuck here with 2 or 1. And I was like, how did she